Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, a.k.a. Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 196 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast. Yes, love it. That was actually in unison. To my left is, of course, Mr. David Santos, a.k.a. Dream Twister. What is up, bro?
I don't know. You said this was in unison, but it was probably not planned to be because I hear you with a massive lag. So it's kind of disconcerting since we were in the same room and both wearing headsets. You're sounding like double.
Okay. Well,
you said unison, but for me, I started first.
He jumped in front. Well planned, sir. Well planned. As far as I'm concerned, it sounded the same. So
completely on purpose. Completely on purpose.
We're gonna clip this part and we're gonna use it for every introduction.
for every GG going forward, so it all sounds the same. The other voice, of course, from the other side of Florida is Mr. Gilberto, aka Chaos Reaper. What is up, sir?
What's going on, GG peeps? Not much. Just here drinking a funky Buddha margarita goes.
Oh, man. I could be having a funky Buddha. Funky Buddha.
This is just the first one, so I will get worse as the podcast carries on.
Because how much is the percentage on that bad boy?
11%.
Wow,
and I am definitely a lightweight.
At this point, that's an imperial goes almost because of that.
That sounds epic.
It is.
At this point, wait for our fourth segment after our hot topic of the week, where Gilberto talks about Final Fantasy 14 for an hour and a half because he is super panda.
Hey, don't challenge me. I could.
You know what? We should start a spin-off podcast. Gilberto Fireside Chats about Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, you'll be there with a pipe, you know what I mean, and right next to the fire.
Oh, I like this.
With a little bit of whiskey and going. So when you reach level 14, what you really want to do is start grinding out this, whatever.
I like this. I like this. I like this idea.
That'll be great.
Like he's about to tell you a Christmas story by sitting by the fire, by the bonfire.
In a robe. I mean, I already pictured myself in my robe and shit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you're gonna be in house slippers, your robe, right? A real big robe that has that nice like fluffy part towards to the neck area.
Yeah, big cigar.
A cigar pipe too.
Pipe. Yeah, pipe. That's right. That's right.
I think this will work. I think we can make this happen. Spin-off coming soon from GG, guys.
Video spin-off. Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh, man. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If this is your first time listening, please go to goodgame.rocks and join the conversation there. And, of course, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with everyone. What we normally do, guys, is first we go into what we have been up to, move on into some various news items, and then finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic.
Hot topic.
Most anticipated and
words tough.
This week's hot topic.
Most anticipated games of 2020.
There you go.
Yes.
I only said it without spitting anything. So this week we're gonna look ahead to 2020 and basically list out all the games we are extremely excited for. Maybe even some of that we're gonna probably avoid. Like a landmine. Like this year's Anthem, which I'm calling to be the Marvel's Avengers game.
Oh. I'm calling it to be Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh!
Wow, that's something.
I joke, I kid.
But hey, you may not be wrong.
Oh, God, no, please. Let me be wrong this one.
I want you to be wrong. I want you to be 100% wrong.
Yes, please. I want myself to be super wrong on this one.
Me too. I want you to be wrong also. All right, guys, let's start with what we have been up to. Mr. Gilberto will lead us off this week. What, sir, has been going on?
All right. Honestly, I haven't watched a single movie or TV show this entire week. Not a single one.
Wow.
All
What have you
right.
been doing then?
No, just kidding.
Have you been
90,
outside? Have you been
oh
hiking?
God, no. God, no, what? Outside the sun? No, no, I'm allergic to all that shit. And people? Oof, God, no. Uh,
It's nothing
90%
like
of
it
my
used to be.
time was spent in Warframe.
Oh,
Oh,
shit. Somebody's
I
grinding.
am, I
that's a
am,
game.
I am back in full force into Warframe. I updated two of my frames already. I'm working on my third one. For those that actually play this, will understand what I'm about to say next. But Frost Prime has been updated to a more current build because my builds were like 4 years old at this point.
Hmm.
And the way that with all the updates and how tough the enemies are now, I was dying fairly quick. I could still hold on for a little bit, but it wasn't good enough. So I updated Frost Prime. I updated Valkyr, which oh God, I absolutely love Valkyr Prime. She was one of my first God mode frames. She was completely unkillable, and then they reworked her because she was that strong.
You so OP?
She was way too OP. But then it's not that I didn't like the rework. It wasn't good. She was not the same. She was still a blender of death,
A
but
blender of death.
I love it. I'm picturing like the Tasmanian devil just.
something
I'm,
like that.
I'm picturing my next gamer tag.
Listen, honestly, the Tasmanian Devil part, it's not that far off. Even now, it's still a blender of death with the survivability that I need to go for over an hour on a survival mission, on a high end, on an end game survival mission,
Wow.
Wow.
pretty comfortably too. Um, and one of the most important things in the last few updates have been melee weapons. They buffed the shit out of melee weapons.
Uh-huh.
And currently, they are the best weapons, and anything else does not compare. The primaries, the secondaries do not compare to how strong melee weapons are, right? Because they did melee 3.0,
Mm-hmm.
and now the combos work, which I've mentioned this before, the combos work differently. Which, by the way, I found out how to do the other combos in the weapons. You gotta hold L2, which is supposedly, well, it's the aim button for the weapons, but supposedly for the melee weapons, it's the block button. And you do a different combo if you're standing still or if you're moving forward. So there's four combos total for most weapons. I think there's one or two that don't have four combos.
Mhm.
Um, so I updated two of my melee weapons, which was the dual Karis, which is a dual swords, and what is the name of that goddamn weapon?
The sword of
Ah,
the thousand truths.
no,
Sword of
no, no.
Omens.
It's the Orthos Prime. It's the
Oh,
Orthos, which is like
so close.
yeah, right. You're so close. It's a pole weapon with blades at the end. I don't know the name of what would the actual name be of that weapon, but
Yeah, it's like the Chinese looking staff with the sword. Yeah, I've
yeah,
seen
but
those.
on both ends though.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
I've
on
not
both
seen
ends
those.
that has a
Okay.
blade, and it's so satisfying to literally run around and just cut everything up because
Mhm.
both weapons do slash damage. So you literally cut up the enemies into pieces.
Nice.
Damn, you're having a good time with it then.
Oh, good lord, yes. And there's so much to do. Like I recently finished my Railjack, which is the a big ship now that they have. That I think I talked about it before. You can fly it out in space and actually do missions in it and shit. But that is not my focus right now because I still have to get um, reputation for two different factions, which is the Austron from Cetus and Solaris United from Fortuna, which I'm
Mm.
working on that now to upgrade the the amp for the operator, which is the
Mm.
actual Tenno, because
Okay.
the warframes are basically puppets,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you have your actual Tenno that controls them. So you can actually use your Tenno in battle for certain things. For certain endgame bosses, they're required to use that amp. And the first one you use is called the mode amp, which even at level 30 is still complete utter garbage.
Mm.
And to upgrade that, to get a new one, you gotta go through a lot of grinding. So I'm currently going through that grinding while at the same time still because I don't want to do it just that because that can get pretty boring. I'm also leveling up my frames. Currently, the one I'm updating now is Necros Prime, which he was good, but he was squishy as shit. So I'm working on a build to make him way more durable. Dark actually tried this build. We found it on YouTube, and yeah, it's a ridiculous build. And I got a what they call polarizing, which where you put your mods.
Hmm.
Each mod has a polarity, which I'm not gonna say the name because I don't know them all. But we call them basically by what the symbol looks like. There's the V polarity, the D polarity, the double dash, the single dash, whatever.
Mm.
So if you match the polarity of your mod slots with your mods, it costs less to equip. So you can put even stronger mods to make the frame better.
Hmm.
This takes the use of an item called Forma, which there's a couple of ways of getting it. I'm not gonna get into that. And I had 21 when I came back. I have 4 left.
Oh, shit.
So I have polarized a lot of different things, including between the frames and the weapons. And I still got to do like 3 more formas to Necros, 3 more polarizations to Necros Prime to get that build that I need. And after that, at some point, I do have to work on a better primary and a better secondary. Which honestly, my secondary, the main one I use is called the Tron. It's actually pretty good from what I've seen. Like even in the end game missions that I've played, I've used it, and the build that I have still can actually get kills, which I was very surprised because it's a super old build.
Uh,
Yeah, but so yeah, that's what I've been up to in Warframe. As you can see, it's been a lot. It is a
Hmm.
lot. The
but they
other
got
tip,
it
what?
got updated recently, no? There was a
Uh,
recent update on it, or am I confusing it with another game?
the recent update that was done for PC was to do bug fixes for the Railjack, which there were a lot of bugs when it released because they released it ahead of time as
But
a
what,
quote unquote surprise.
Hmm.
but what was the big thing
The
that I
flying of
was
the ships,
feeling?
that hasn't happened yet?
Yeah, the Railjack
Oh,
was
Oh,
that's
the
what it
last,
is. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
oh,
the last big update that happened. They haven't added anything else to the story,
wow.
unfortunately, which I'm dying for them to do. But apparently, they're trying to move from the orbiter, which is the ship that you currently walk around in. They're trying to move your main hub from the orbiter to the railjack. Apparently, that's what it's heading to. I'm not saying that it will, but that's what it feels like it will. Which, by the way, my orbiter is it's like I have it decorated with all kinds of shit. There's a room where you can actually set up this. Well, you can set up decorations anywhere, but there's this room specifically for this, right? So you set up decorations and shit, and they have what equates to basically action figures of your Warframe.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Like with the current setup that you have, the weapon, the skin, and everything. And I have like 7 of them around that room.
So
I
it's like
have
collecting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, because you can invite your friends into your orbiter now, so you can actually
Oh,
show it
okay.
off. Yeah, yeah.
Nice, nice.
So
So
I actually
it's almost like okay, I'm trying to think of something. Your own space. It reminds me of PlayStation Home. You ever had you ever
yeah,
use
yeah,
PlayStation
yeah,
Home? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Basically, yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's
Uh, uh,
cool.
I mean, they've added so many things that you can put on. I even have like rugs in that room and shit. And I
Nice.
started putting pictures and everything, which you can actually like customize and whatnot. The customized like it's limited to the size and the angles and whatever. But it's pretty cool that they have a variety of different images you can put on those pictures. Not just like if you see the icon, it has a picture on it. You can actually swap that for whatever you have on your inventory. Which
Mhm.
apparently I have a few for whatever reason, because I get shit that I don't even know about.
Mhm.
So, but I really do love this game. Even the times that I stopped playing this game, I always went back, even if it was to see like, is there anything new? No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm out.
You just hop in real quick. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hit
no,
my daily
everything's still the
thing.
same. Okay.
Maybe level up one or two things and get out. But no,
Nice.
not right now. I'm currently back in full force. Oh, I also got the Arcwing launcher to be used on the open world areas. It's actually a lot easier now, but it was still a little bit of a grind, which is super. It's just amazing to fly around in those areas. because it's so
Wow.
much faster than either walking or using your keyboard, which is basically your hoverboard. And,
I gotta get back because I remember I got into it a little bit with you, and I was just like, oh, I can see this being just one of those things I'm never gonna get to a certain level. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna be able to put the same amount of time in, but it's so fascinating how much just how much depth that game
oh,
has. You know
it
what I mean?
yes.
It's incredible. That's why going back to the game of the decade. I immediately I was like, no, you got to take Destiny off. Not if you're going to keep Warframe on here because Warframe just makes Destiny look like child's play, man.
I
It's just
agree.
like,
Even Destiny 2, it doesn't matter if you combine Destiny and Destiny 2, Warframe still outdoes it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been up to in Warframe. And the other small 10% was spent in Apex Legends,
okay.
which they have a new event, which is the Grand Soiree. Um, it has a couple. It has had a couple of good modes. The third person mode was actually pretty interesting to play. Not the best, but it was interesting to see the characters. Like I played as Lifeline, and if you're not sprinting, just running, she actually starts like drumming while running.
Oh shit.
So it was kind of cool to see all those little animations that you don't usually
See,
see.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it was pretty cool. The last one that I played was shotguns and snipers only.
Oh, the
We,
one with low armor. Okay.
yes, and we won one game. Like the first game I played it with Zib and was it Raymond? I think, and we won it by sheer luck.
I
Okay,
don't
because
know. It's not always a luck thing. I play with you and Mrs. Reaper and some of the other ones. You guys are pretty on point when it comes to that
no, no,
freaking game.
I'm confusing. I think the one that we won by luck was always closing, which is the circle is always that's a tiny
Yeah.
circle,
Hmm.
and the whole time is closing, and then once it closes to a tiny circle, you have 1 minute before it fully closes, and everybody dies.
Wow.
We won that by sheer luck because we were in the tiny circle. There was still like 4 squads left, and the circle fully closed. And I literally started shooting blindly at anything that moved, and we actually won the
Well,
game.
you got it. Yeah, you go. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to spray.
Yeah, it was literally spray and pray, and we
Wow,
won
that's
the
awesome.
game.
That's
So
awesome.
it's been fun.
I'm gonna
The
need you to start recording some of this shit. Just hit share the moment shit like that happens, please, and post that shit or send it to me,
You're
and I'll
right.
fucking
You're right.
post it for you.
Actually, even better. I should honestly start streaming that shit.
That
There
too.
you go.
That too.
I really gotta get back into the streaming
Likewise.
business. But once I get into my house, which hopefully will happen soon, because I got accepted at Tampa finally.
Woo!
Yes, yes.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
So
Yeah.
hopefully within the next 3 weeks, I'll be with my wife in my home.
Awesome, dude. I'm
So
really, really happy for you, man.
Yes.
yes, a lot of plans, a lot of plans.
The struggle has been all worth it in the end.
Oh God, yes. But honestly, that's. Oh, and I played some Mortal Kombat 11. I guess there's some percentage there that gotta go to Mortal Kombat 11, which has been just triggering me left and right.
Oh shit.
Because I'm up to rank. I'm not master yet. I think warrior. So I'm like before master. And oh my God. See, just people are terrible and they're so toxic. It's something like I've actually closed the application on one dude that started teabagging me after he beat me the set. Like, yo, it was a good set. Like, do you have to be like, no, I'm not even gonna watch this.
Yeah.
As soon as he started teabagging me, close application. I hope your PlayStation burns. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to this week.
Awesome. Awesome. It's a good time. Mr. Dream Twister,
Yes,
what,
sir.
sir, have you been doing?
Oh, I have actually been spending a lot of time ever since I came back. I was away for a week, and if you guys remember, I started playing. I'm gonna say the name right. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, not
Oh,
Blood Rain.
also known as Blood Rain.
Blood Rain. I want to call it Blood Rain for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, did you
Uh,
guys like Blood Rain at all?
I never played the 3D Blood Rain. I played the side-scrolling Blood Rain, which actually was pretty cool. It
I
was
heard
like
it
a
was good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember playing the original one, and I actually liked it. It was probably not a good game.
Yeah, I don't think it was at the time. Yeah.
Pretty sure it was not a good game, but I kind of digged it. I mean, it was edgy as shit, so obviously it was right up my alley.
Well, Blood Rain side scroller. I heard it was pretty good.
Mhm.
And speaking of side scrollers, so is this one. This is a game made by Koji Igarashi. I want to say he's known as
Yes.
Iga.
There you go.
It's also known as Iga, who was the I want to say the creator or the producer of the Castlevania.
The early Castlevanias, yeah.
The early Castlevania games, exactly. So I have to admit, I never, even though I really like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I never finished that game. And not because of I was not having fun with it. To be honest with you, I can't even recall what was it that separated me from continuing playing that game. I think it was it's a great game, but it's a slow level up little by little, and it's kind of challenging. And then every time you die, you have to wait for that awful, super long loading screen, to get you back into the game. So that kind of turned me off a little bit. So, but I always liked those type of games to the point where when I owned the Nintendo DS, I played both Castlevania games that came out on that system. There were also the type of Symphony of the Night games. What we know now as Metroidvania type of games, which was Castlevania Castlevania Dawn of Sorrows, which I beat, and the Castlevania Portrait of Ruin, which I believe I finished also. Actually, there might have been a third one, and I'm not remembering. There might have been three on the DS. But anyway, so I've always had an appetite for those type of Metroidvania games because I love that those type of games, that genre. And this one, I gotta admit, I didn't pay attention to it until very late, and even when I came out, I was just kind of like holding back on playing it. So I started playing this one, and I really, I really digged it, but I had to leave for a week, and then I came back, and I just decided to continue where I left off, and man, it just got its hooks on me.
Nice.
I have been playing that game every time that I had a chance to. I have been enjoying it so much that I was thinking over the last weekend, like, how can I improve my enjoyment of this game somehow? So I actually ended up buying an 8-bit DOE Super Nintendo replica type of game. Type of controller with gamepad.
Mm-hmm.
So 8-bit DOE is a company that does they do this replica controller. They do different type of controllers, but they specialize in this replica of the Super Nintendo controller. They also have a replica of NES, or if you somehow want to control a gamepad looking like reminiscing you of the Super Famicom or even the Game Boy for that matter, they have those. So this one's actually shaped up to look like the typical Super NES or Super controller or Super Famicom, like I said, because they also have the variant, and but it has it has sticks, it has the shoulder buttons. They have 4 shoulder buttons. I don't call them triggers because they're not analog, unlike a DualShock or an Xbox One controller, but it still have 4 buttons on the top, shoulder buttons, and your sticks, aside from the D-pad. And the D-pad, bro, it feels exactly like you remember a Super Nintendo gamepad feeling.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, you played a little bit.
It does, yeah. It has that. It has the. That's the funniest thing about it, because they had Nintendo actually. I found out somewhere. I can't remember. I read it somewhere? I heard it somewhere. But basically, Nintendo had actually patented their design of their D-pad, which
Mm.
is the reason why no one else can ever replicate. Because it was always like, well, why are they reinventing the wheel? They should just do what Nintendo did. And the fact is they couldn't. That's the horror. They had to do their own version, and it just never came out the same. So this one here, I'm wondering. I'm like, I don't know if they figured it out, or maybe it's just I don't know.
Or maybe they licensed it. Well, I don't think they
Maybe yeah, license it, or
obviously.
maybe the patent expired. I mean, that can happen too.
Yeah, true. But this game, but just to speak, not to go on a tangent, but just to mention a little bit on it. It is, I believe, it's like 39, like $40 on Amazon. It's made to be paired with, primarily with your Nintendo Switch, but you could also pair it with PC or or app or a Mac or your phone.
Mm.
And the pairing is, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, to do, but once you got it and you remember like the button combination to pair it, it's very easy, and there's like it feels wonderful. You don't perceive any lag. This thing is using Bluetooth. You don't perceive lag at all. Like you could be playing like Mad Dog was playing Shovel Knight before we started the podcast, and would you say it was it was fairly responsive, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, feels just like the old days.
Yeah.
Only the difference is there's no cord.
There's no cord. Yeah, exactly. So I bought that and I've been playing with. Oh, by the way, the first day that I played with it, my thumb was hurting so bad. I was like, nope, I don't think I can do this. I'm gonna have to return this. I don't have the my child fingers, anymore. So my arthritis might not be letting me play. But
Wow,
but then by the second time I sat down, it was nothing. It was just like now it feels like a really good way of playing this retro games. And I'm not gonna replace my either the DualShock obviously or the Xbox gamepad.
Yeah, no, this is
not
is
meant
great
for that.
this is great for those type of games. I mean, you want to go play some sort of big action piece game that you're gonna want to stick with your regular controller. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I can see how playing for long time, with it's gonna feel cramped. My hands are gonna feel a little cramped. But that's okay. I bought the game. Going back to the game to play Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit. Like I mentioned, the game has excellent customization. I actually was surprised that you could actually customize your character. At one point in the game, it kind of lets you customize your character pretty much any way any way you please. As far as the like hairstyles, skin color. Instead of doing it at the very beginning, it lets you do that like almost when you reach certain portion of the game, which surprised me because I thought oh, that iconic character is just gonna look like the way she looks, but my character looks actually very, very different, and I enjoy also seeing that the weapons that you get are very varied to the point where it will, let's say you get a sword, it will behave like a sword. A whip is going to be entirely different, and then there's several different variations on that. Is that Symphony of the Night gameplay mechanic, where each weapon is going to look very different, going to act very different, and you stick with the best one for your game, for your play style. The music is actually pretty good. It does a good job of mimicking that Symphony of the Night lifestyle. In Symphony of the Night, when you start the game, when you enter the castle, and that's almost it makes you feel like, oh, this is where the game really begins, because the music comes up and it's very evocative of of the area that you're playing. It does so here as well. Like you could tell that's what they're going for. Uh, the voice acting is kind of cheesy, but it's not.
I've heard it. It is.
It's not terrible. It's not what is a man?
Oh no, no, it's
It's
definitely
not
not.
that
Yeah,
level. It's not
it's
that
not
level.
that bad. No, no.
Little miserable pile of secrets. It's not. It doesn't get to that.
Secrets.
Yes, yes. It doesn't get. But I think you will enjoy this one, Chaos, because I know you're the edge lord, and this game has has a little bit of that. It has obviously it's going for that Castlevania vibe, so it's very gothic and very, it has the castle, and
Listen,
the castle has different areas that are very different.
I already have 3 different Metrovania games that I gotta go through, which is Death Gambit, Blasphemous, and now you're mentioning this one.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, probably not. It's not gonna be as edgy as
As those,
Blasphemous,
yeah.
but it is. So it's Symphony of the Night again. That's what they were going for. The game also throws some cool surprises, like for example, and this is not like any major spoiler or anything like that. It's just one of the characters, one of the enemies that will appear that you will actually get to fight on is it's the Shovel Knight.
Really?
It's I mean it's an interpreted version, so of course he looks a lot more menacing than the 8-bit character, but it is a knight. It's a blue knight. He has the helmet with the horns, and he has a shovel, and that's how
Oh
he
my
uses to
God.
fight. So obviously,
Shovel Knight.
yeah, so he's the shovel knight, and he have other surprises that I won't spoil that are pretty neat. And like I said, cool weapons, all that. I definitely, you know what, Jason's vindicated. I never doubted this game was gonna be good. I just didn't expect it to like grab me, so much, and I intend to beat it. Even though right now I don't really know where I'm supposed to go because like sometimes the problem with those games is that they don't really tell you exactly what your next
No, yeah.
area is, so you kind of have to just wander around and backtrack along the areas. But I don't mind it because I'm still killing enemies. I'm still getting stronger. So I'm still progressing. So to the point where right now, some of the enemies that will give me a hard time that I'll have to hit like 3 or 4 times, I'm one shot in one shot in them because I have gotten stronger that for where I am in the game probably. Because I've been going back and forth and enjoying it all the way through. So that's Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. Ritual of the Night, not to be confused with Blood Rain.
Or to be constantly confused with both, depending how you look at it. Yeah.
Like I do. Right now, also best to mention, Steam is having a sale, and the game, this game is $40. It's $39.99. Right now, you can get it for $25.99, which if you don't mind playing on PC or that's your main, go for it. Absolutely go for it. It is a really really good one of those. But believe it or not,
one quick thing. If you guys heard like a random video suddenly playing, I'm sorry about that. My wife sent me a video and I hit play by mistake.
Oh no, we didn't.
No
We didn't
worries,
hear
no
anything. No, don't worry.
Oh, good lord, because it was kind of loud for a second.
Uh,
I was desperately trying to hit back so it would shut up.
Listen, we don't want to hear the type of videos that your wife might be sending you. That's between you
It's
and your
just
wife.
a TikTok video.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha.
Sure.
Gotcha.
Oh
Gotcha.
God! You want me to play it? You want me to play it?
No. So anyway, another game that I just had an inkling to play recently. You guys saw, obviously, I will assume the trailer for the Joker appearing in Mortal Kombat 11.
I haven't seen the trailer. I don't
Joker,
care. I only care for Spawn.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Joker is
Joker.
one of the DLC characters, and it's we were joking. Well, we were joking around. We were making fun of the fact that the first Joker. I think you said at Chaos that he looked like the what was it? The Pornhub version of the Joker.
The porn version of the
The
Joker.
Pornhub version of the Joker. It was stupid. So obviously they heard you. NetherRealms heard you, and
They
they heard your
obviously
feedback.
listen to our podcast.
Yeah,
Obviously,
obviously they
yeah.
are. Yeah, those guys are very into our podcast.
Big fans of GG.
Yes. So they actually modified him, and now the Joker looks a lot more, sinister and a lot more cool than creepy. So, but I'm not playing Mortal Kombat 11. What I'm actually playing is Injustice 2.
Oh God.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm coming to the realization that if I had to pick between the two, and I own both of them, hands down, I will pick Injustice. I think personally is my favorite series, my favorite NetherRealm fighting series, just because I'm not too deep into like I'm not a uh, fighting game fighting person.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not into like super memorizing combos and doing crazy stuff like that. I don't do online. I'm mostly playing for the story. And even though the story of Mortal Kombat 11 was quite entertaining, dude, the story in Injustice, I mentioned it before and I'll say it again, should have been DC's movie.
I agree.
It is so good.
So good.
And not only that, but you have two endings. So I believe that last time I played it, I finished with what is considered the good ending, by siding with Batman. So,
Of course, that's what you do.
well, I kind of want to see the bad ending because I kind of like the idea of really, of a jerk Superman. He's not evil, but he's an he's an iron fist, basically. He's a dictator. He's
Yeah.
still a dictator. And in this universe, at least, and I really love that idea so much. I can't believe they haven't, made, a movie, based on that.
All right,
And I just
I
want to see
got
that
two
ending.
comments. I got
Yes,
two
sir.
comments. First off, I haven't. What I said about the story being so good, I'm basing it off when I played Injustice One, which the story
It was
was
good.
absolutely amazing.
It is,
It was
yeah.
stellar. Yeah.
The second comment is that I don't blame you for choosing Injustice 2 over Mortal Kombat 11 because honestly, the more I learn about Mortal Kombat 11 and its mechanics and the nuances, the more I realize this game is not that great.
Mm.
Compared to
Right?
like 10, right? I heard that before. I
Yes,
feel. Yeah.
10, but I didn't play it as much, but as I mentioned before, Dark Necromancer played it extensively, and he is a gamer that focuses on fighting games.
Hmm.
So I wish I could have played it, but with his opinion and others, not just his, but others as well, Mortal Kombat 10 is the superior Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
Which,
I heard that. I heard that feeling also.
yeah, which kind of saddens me because Spawn is in Mortal Kombat 11.
It's all about Spawn.
It's all about Spawn. It's the only reason I own this game. It's the only reason I actually try to, or I try to get good at this game.
Just so you're ready when that DLC hits, Mortal Kombat 11 is gonna be the best game. It's gonna be better than
Yeah.
Injustice 2. Dude, it almost like I wish I had like the physical version to give to Mad Dog and be like, I know you're not like a super fighting fan, but here, play the story, just go through it. Because you're a comic buff, you like this stuff.
I played the first one.
The first one,
The
yeah,
first Injustice.
yeah,
And no, the story was awesome. That actual game made freaking Aquaman awesome
oh yeah,
before freaking what's the name? Jason Momoa did in the movie.
that's true.
So I was just like, man, this guy is like regal. He is like tough, and he was a badass fighter in the game. So no, I get it. They do some great work with it. So I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Warner Brothers and their shit. But I mean,
I would say if Injustice 2 comes down, now in price, let's say,
Yeah, that's what I did.
$15, grab, absolutely grab it. Play. The story is actually like it's long. It's on the longish side. I don't remember how many hours it is, but like you definitely get your money's worth. Again, not a great fan of fighting games. I mean, I like them, I enjoy them. I'm just not good at them. Um, but right now, Steam has Dragon Ball Z Fighters, what is it called, for $14.99. And I'm thinking like, man, that looks amazing. I should grab that. I just don't care about Dragon Ball Z. If I did, however, this would be an amazing get because it just looks insane. It looks exactly like those, like the animation and whatever. So that's all I've been actually playing this week. I did watch a movie that I will actually recommend. It's called The King, and it's on Netflix. The movie is about. It's kind of like it's like retelling the story of Henry V, the English king of yore. I don't know more about history, so I'm sorry if I messed this up. I know that there was a Shakespeare, drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a theater drama of it, Henry V. So this movie is based on that. It basically shows this character as he's like a young, reluctant prince that just ends up becoming the king by means of which I'm not gonna spoil. And he has to deal with going into war with France. It's almost steered into going into war with France, and he's steered by his retinue, basically by his advisors.
Mm-hmm.
And but the question is like, are these advisors trustworthy? Are they loyal? Can you be loyal to them? So it kind of in a little bit it reminded me of a realistic Game of Thrones. I expected the movie to have a lot of like some cool battle set pieces. It totally does not. This movie is yeah, it's more dramatic. It's more slow pace, and they're not trying to do the epic battles. I mean, the epic battle that undoubtedly you will see when you see them fighting, you don't see them fighting like on the fantastical movies. You see guys in like heavy armor, like just like jumping and striking and being all 300 and shit. You will see what knights wearing this heavy armor will probably how they probably be battling for real, which is this equipment is it's super heavy and cumbersome. Mm-hmm. And when you are fighting, it just looks like a big mush pile, in the center of the battlefield, and it kind of
looks like the Battle of the Bastards to me.
The Battle what?
The Battle of the Bastards to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that looked a lot epic than this, because this looked almost silly, but I don't think they were trying to make it silly. I think it was more like, oh no, this is realistically how this would have played out. It's kind of it's not the easiest equipment to to fight on, but yeah, the movie's good. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it. Just know what you're getting into. It's not 300. And that's all I've been doing.
Awesome. Well, I've played a couple new games, but I'm going to start with what I've been watching, since that's kind of where you left off, to get that out of the way. I'm still kind of going through some rewatches. I'm realizing that I'm really enjoying the hell out of rewatching shit. I don't know why, because it's and I said it before. It's like I felt like I've been watching a lot of shit movies, and I'm like, I just want to see good films. You know what I mean? And so I just kind of going back. So
The
on
trusted,
the
the trusted
trusted, yeah,
ones.
the
Yeah.
good classics.
Yeah.
And so we rewatched on HBO because they have all of them. But I went right to part two, Aliens, James Cameron's
Oh
Aliens,
shit!
and my God, does that movie still hold up, man? If you have not you have not seen it in a while, it is on HBO.
I have
Just
not seen it
watch
in a
it. It
while.
is It's, you know what?
I need to see
Just
it.
tune in for a week, just for a month. You know what I mean? Just to do it because it is a great. That film has not it has aged great. I should say it has aged perfectly. The special effects are still awesome because they kept it
Wow.
practical. You know what I mean? So since they kept it practical, none of it looks like bad CG. You know,
They kept the
so
reels.
they kept yeah they kept
Because
it
there
good. So
is no CG.
it's a little bit of CG. It's just a wee bit, but even still, it looks good because it's the CG is really just more of a background, and then
Right.
the foreground is whatever, but the background is just usually like models or something like that. But when you put them together, it still looks realistic because the models are real things that are just being destroyed. Anyway, the point is, rewatch that, and then we went into Disney Plus because we have Disney
Oh.
Plus, so we have to we have
You
to
have to,
watch something because
you have to
Mandalorian's
justify.
over. Yeah. So I went and watched two rare gems, guys, from Disney Animated Studios. Okay, and if you haven't seen these are probably some of the best animated movies that they've released, and it's just one of those that just like fell into the crack somewhere. The first one is Treasure Planet, which is
Never
a
heard of it.
retelling of Treasure Island, essentially. But the difference is they fly to different planets and stuff like that instead of in the sea. And the ships look like ships, but they fly in the sky, almost like Skies of Arcadia.
Oh
Skies, yeah,
yeah.
very
So
similar to
it's
Skies of Arcadia, yeah.
yeah.
And it
Or the
is
beginning of Final Fantasy 14. Oh, Final Fantasy 4.
yeah, sure, yeah, that as well. It is
Airships.
really, really awesome. Well told story, great animation, and like I said, it's a gem. And another one was Atlantis, the Lost Empire, which is another
Wow.
great one. Which for a Disney one actually gets a little serious in some places. So
I haven't watched that one.
that one is amazing. Both of them are great. They're like just like I said, they're great. There is just I don't know what it is. It's I guess between Pixar and all that. You know, that's kind of when Pixar really started getting their stride with their movies, and it just kind of took away from the old school animation. And so these films kind of just fell to the wayside. But let me tell you, these are some of the best. So I'm glad
Yeah.
I'm glad I went back to them because I literally haven't seen both of those since they came out. I've only seen it once, and it was just that long ago, and it just passed me by.
Have you seen Titan AE?
I have, yes, I have
I
seen
gotta
that.
rewatch that because I
Yeah.
know it's a good movie.
Yes, that was another good one too. That one I've seen a couple times though, believe it or not. But yes, I have seen it. That's actually available in a lot of places. So uh,
That is Disney, right? I believe so.
I don't think so. No, sir. I don't
No?
think that's
No.
Disney at all. Nope. I don't
Oh,
think.
I thought it was.
We can look it up here in a sec. Yeah, I don't think that's Disney.
Keep going, man. I'll look it up.
Okay. Then some movies that I haven't seen. These are new to me, and the first one is called Road to Perdition, which is actually a movie with Tom Hanks, where, believe it or not, guys, Tom Hanks plays. Wait for it, a hitman.
What?
Wow.
Yes, he plays a mob enforcer. Okay. All right.
Wow.
Let me tell you, it's a role
Tom
that I have.
Hanks?
Tom Hanks. Yes. Good. Goody two shoes. Tom Hanks.
Next thing you're gonna tell me that Adam Sandler made a good movie.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's messed up. 50 First Dates? No? Okay. Well, that's
Oh,
fine.
by the way,
Good movie,
it
yeah.
was Fox Animation Studios that did Titan AE.
Fox Animation. There you go. So he plays. So this takes place in like the 20s. You know what I'm saying? He has a family, and he basically is a hitman for this mafia guy, whatever. His son. This is in the trailers. Was not, and it's a 2002 movie anyway, so I'm not really spoiling much here. But his son witnesses his father do something, as you know, obviously as most hitmen do, and unfortunately, now he's basically on the run from his own people, and he's taking his son with him and all that. And it's actually a very good story. My only problem is I can't look past Tom Hanks. You know, like you see times I'm going, I just don't see him being that kind of guy. You know, it's like so weird, and he does it well. You know, to his credit, he does it well. He's a great actor. You know, he's not gonna. But my goodness, there are moments where I'm like, it feels like I'm watching Big, or it feels like I'm watching, you know, because he's talking with his son, and there's these little almost comical things going, and I'm going, this isn't the same Hitman there was a moment ago. You know what I mean? You're starting to see the Tom Hanks kind of come out. So
it's like watching the number 23 with Jim Carrey playing a serious role, and you're like, this feels so wrong. This feels so out of place.
Exactly. That said, the movie is actually very good. So I saw this on Prime. It's not available for free. We just rented it because it's been on my list forever, and I just wanted to get it out of the way, and I'm glad I did because it was actually pretty good. And the last movie I saw is a movie on Netflix, and this one here I cannot recommend in any way whatsoever. It's called Earthquake Bird, and aside from being a dumbass name, the movie is. I'm not even sure. Like, we finished, the credits are rolling, and we weren't even sure what we were supposed to learn from this whole situation. This is so I'm sure. I know David saw it because I think we saw it together. Ex Machina.
Yes.
So the girl who plays the android, right? Chaos. Have you seen Ex Machina?
It's a really good.
No, actually.
No, it's a great film. You should definitely watch it. So the girl who plays the android, she's the one who stars in this movie.
So that
she is in Japan. It takes place in the 80s. Don't know why, just because. She is actually a translator, so she can translate to English and Japanese. And she meets a Japanese guy who is kind of an oddball, loves to take pictures of everything. And it becomes this weird. She meets this other girl who's American, and it becomes this weird love triangle thing. And I'm not even sure half of it. I think she was maybe hallucinating. And in the end, the whole thing happens. And I even asked my wife, I was like, why is it called Earthquake Bird? I don't think we ever even found out
an earthquake.
I mean, there are earthquakes in Japan. So it's like, okay, well, but what did they have to do with anything? Nothing had to do with the fucking movie. So, no. I cannot recommend it at all. So just avoid a call. That was just
at all.
Yeah, that's a movie
avoid like the plague.
Dump the fire.
Yeah, avoid like the plague.
Hot garbage.
All right, so going to some games. I had to finally stop Mafia 3.
Why?
Because it was becoming way too GTA. I was like, this is all about going over here and collecting a bunch of bullshit, and now I have to freaking do a bunch of missions just so we can get this guy come out, and it was just a lot of lather, rinse, and repeat. And it's just like, oh, okay, here it's just to, and it took so long just to get to the part where I'm at. I'm like, oh my God, looking at the map, I was like, I have to do this on the entire map? Fuck this, you know what I mean? And then I saw on YouTube that the entire storyline can actually be played from beginning to end in 2.5 hours. I'm like, I could just sit and watch the movie of this because, frankly, that's why I'm playing. I'm like,
terrible.
Wow.
I know. So, yeah, I gave up on that. I did jump over to a couple games. I started playing Super Hot on PlayStation 4.
Oh, what'd you think?
I think it's cool. It's a cool little game.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Super Hot is this weird. It's almost like a puzzle game, basically, but it's a 3D puzzle game where you're put into a position in a room, and the room is going to start coming with a bunch of people in trying to shoot you, and you basically have to maneuver where the shots are actually coming at you in almost like a line, so you kind of have to maneuver and shoot back, and then throw a gun at somebody, and then grab their gun as they're falling, and then shoot. Very almost like the scene from Matrix in that hallway scene with the shootouts happening. You're basically a scene like that, but you do it in very slow motion so you can get it done right. And hopefully you don't get shot, because you get shot pretty often. And then once you beat the thing, is super hot. Super hot, and then you're seeing the whole replay of what you just did in real time, and obviously it's meant to look really cool. So,
well, you forgot to mention the quintessential thing on the gameplay, which is Time moves when you move.
It
When,
actually, well, yes,
yeah.
technically, it,
I
it
mean, it
does
still
move
moves
very,
in so
yeah,
much of
yeah,
a
very, very slow.
very slowly. It doesn't
Correct.
like really pause, but we might as well because it moves really slow if you're not doing anything. That's just so you don't idle and think forever. But yeah, the shots and the action only happens when you're moving the
When
game,
you yeah.
the
When you start
controller.
start walking, everything starts moving in real time. So you
Yeah.
kind of want to walk slow so you
Mm.
can start turning and going where you need to go and dive under something or whatever.
It sounds
Uh,
easy, but it's
it's
actually
not. And like I said, it's a lot of fun to once you get everything figured out, the puzzle and everything, and then you get to the end and it just replays it, and you see yourself go in fast, when it's playing
normal, like a total
normal. Oh,
badass.
yeah, it's actually pretty cool. It's not a very long game, but so far I don't know how far I'm into it. There's like a meta game that's happening on the outside where you're almost like somebody on on an internet kind of chatting with somebody who's kind of giving you a version of the game and updating it, and before you know, the game is kind of locking you in. And
I
I
heard
don't
that
know.
game. I heard the story goes places. I heard
Yeah,
it's actually
I
good.
I I'm not finished with it, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's enjoyable. So I started playing that, and I'll continue that, and then finally I started playing Owlboy on
Oh,
PlayStation 4.
oh
Yeah.
boy.
And Owlboy is a side-scrolling action platformer with shooting mechanics, which is actually really, really cool, really, really fun.
Wow.
Graphically, it's got that real awesome, like really well-crafted 16-bit aesthetic. Not the 8-bit, it was like really good, that old school 16-bit graphics, and I I am really digging that one. That one's actually really cool. Story's kind of cool. You play a character, an owl, who's mute, and he's kind of the fuck up of the owl tribe because that's just where you are. And something happens, pirates come, and now you're tasked with saving the village and all this stuff, and so obviously there's a lot of cool boss battles, a lot of puzzle solving. It's really, really cool. Really enjoying that. Those two games are two games that I picked up in the PlayStation sale, and so I right now, I don't know about you guys, but the fact that all these games got pushed out, I'm like, thank God, I can actually go through my backlog a little bit here. You know what I mean? So that's really what I'm doing. And so yeah, I'll definitely highly recommend Owlboy if you like those type of games. But yeah, that's all I've been doing, guys. Then we are back, guys, and it is time for useless news that you can
That you
use.
could use.
Yes. I am going to start off basically continuing from last week's, can we call them delays? The newest delay has nothing to do with a video game, unfortunately. It has to do with a little series that was set to come to Disney Plus. And
Oh,
that is the Obi-Wan Kenobi series has been reportedly put on hold as the concept gets retooled. Uh, yeah, I don't.
That's still happening? I thought that shit
It,
got canceled.
it got canceled, or I should say, not canceled. It got delayed indefinitely. Then they said, "Oh, it's still in the works," and here we are again with a delay. Um, so unfortunately, according to Collider and Hollywood Reporter, production has shut down on the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus original series with the idea of rewriting the show to shoot at a future date. Lucasfilm could not provide a comment on the news, though the news echoes rumors leaking from the set as early as last week. So, unfortunately, for those who still have Disney Plus and really have nothing else to watch, you're going to be waiting a little longer for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Who knows when that'll come out?
I'm gonna be serious question. Like, how can you not have anything to watch on Disney Plus?
So here's the deal with Disney Plus. It
Hit
is
me.
kids first, and then everybody else. You know what I mean? So if you're a kid, dude, you have a lifetime of shit to watch on Disney Plus. If you're a kid, if you're a grown ass man like myself, you have some things you can watch. My issue is I've already watched them all. The Mandalorian already has happened. A lot of the animations that I wanted to watch again, I've watched. Some I've even watched more than once, and a couple other things that just kind of popped in to do. But that's really it. A lot of the stuff is the stuff from Disney Channel, from ABC, and all this other shit that I don't watch. So that's really why. So if you're a kid, man, you have shit to watch. You have shit to watch for the rest of your life, or at least for the rest of the life of your kid.
For your childhood, you have
Yeah.
shit to watch for the rest of your
Yeah, exactly. But outside of that, it's limited. And obviously the promise of all this stuff is what kind of got everybody on board. And frankly, the fact that it's $6.99 is why it makes it easy to kind of slip under the radar of your wallet. So, I'm not the one paying for it. My wife is, and until she says she's done, I'm like, I'll say, hey, we'll put it on, see what else is. But yeah. So that's why I say about that. There is a show that has Jeff Goldblum that I do want to watch, and I heard is actually very good. But I just keep putting it off. So that's maybe I'm putting it off because I'm like, well, when I'm desperate, I have really nothing else. I'll watch that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But yeah. So who has the next
Well,
piece?
talking
I,
about, I was gonna pick this up because I'm gonna pick it back right off this delay bit.
okay. I was gonna talk about Star Wars, but sure.
Oh, wow! So a
Either
segue to
way,
both
yeah,
of
yeah.
our news.
A dual segue.
Wow.
It's time for a duel, to a challenge to see who has the next piece. No, go
Well,
ahead, bro.
all right. So Fortnite Season 2 delayed by another 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-mm.
That's it.
Now,
It's over.
no,
I'm calling it now.
Fortnite's
I'm
finished.
I'm reading this off The Verge, but from what I'm reading here, I'm gonna say they have a valid reason to do it. You see, it's
Uh,
not just Season 2; they're moving to a new engine.
Oh,
oh.
okay, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're moving to Unreal Engine's Chaos Physics engine, whatever.
Oh,
Their
Yeah.
next engine, basically, or the latest iteration. So that'd
Uh,
be
the- and in their official statement, they said at launch, the goal is to ensure that Fortnite still feels like Fortnite. Along the way, there will be some bumps, so we're starting tests with a small group of players. This is what I'm gonna say next is from The Verge. It's likely that the move to Unreal Engine's Chaos Engine has played a part in the delay in the start of Season 2, even if Epic isn't saying that outright. No one wants to play a Fortnite season that's riddled with bumps, so it's good to see Epic is trying to smooth them out before jumping into what has to be the most anticipated season yet. Now, not only is The Verge talking about seasons, like how many seasons has Fortnite have? Because here it says that they're extending season one well beyond any other Fortnite season. If it's season one, what
so,
other season has there been?
well, I don't know. Is it starting over at the beginning of the year? I don't know because I swear there has been a lot of seasons already. So
Okay, because
yeah.
it might be my unfamiliarity with Fortnite and its seasons, but I mean, it's kind of weird to say they're extending season one
Hmm.
well beyond any other Fortnite season. It's kind of weird. What goes
Yeah, the
before season
verbiage.
one?
Hmm. No, I agree because I remember seeing all the updates. Oh, season eight's coming up next with I don't know, shopping carts and all this bullshit.
Oh
So
yeah, that's right. Oh, so anyways, it's interesting that actually both of my news pieces that I have for this week are both about games in our top 20 games of the decade,
yeah.
and both of them are not good.
oh,
Oh,
Although, I mean, I gotta say the delay may not be a bad thing if they're just moving stuff out. Again, I'm not against delays as long as it is to better the game, the experience.
mm-hmm,
yes.
mm-hmm. I
So,
agree.
I'm all for it again, as long as it's not a delay after delay after delay. Star Citizen. Um, you
Crackdown
know,
3? Oh, that came out and it was
yeah,
garbage.
it was still garbage. Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, that's it's. I mean, it'll be. I'm not gonna jump into it, but I'm gonna say that it will be interesting to see how Fortnite changes moving to a different engine.
Hmm.
I've done
So
tell you right now it can't. It can't change that much because you have a winning formula here. I am super hesitant to think that they're going to be messing with it If anything, this is probably going to be something in the background that the current player base will barely notice, because they can't mess up with the formula too much.
So do you think, in your opinion, do you think their options will be they'll have more options in a new engine?
I think I think the game I think the backbone of the game might allow them to port this to, let's say, for example, the next generations now, they can do better work with lighting, for example, or they can make it run into, more devices. But as far as retooling the engine to like better the graphic to increase the number of polygon of characters, etc. Yeah, perhaps, but it can't be too much. It can't be a drastic difference.
Right. It still has to feel like they said. It has to still feel like Fortnite.
Right, exactly. They still have to keep that portion intact, and I don't think that's an easy thing to do. I mean, certainly they have the chops to make it happen, but
Well, it's a
they
wait
got
and
to be
see
careful.
game here.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back to Star Wars because we all love Star Wars.
No, we do.
Yes.
I actually personally like this particular piece of news. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake rumored to be in
What?
development at EA.
Oh shit.
Yes, you heard that right.
Wow. No
Uh,
way. I've
the,
never played it, but I would actually play this.
it's one of the best, if not, the best Star Wars games.
I know.
Uh,
I've heard so much
yeah.
hype over it that I feel like I've missed out on it.
This was when BioWare was in their shit, that when they were actually, well,
BioWare.
when they were not shit. Exactly. The
Not
latest,
EA's BioWare.
yeah, not EA's BioWare, exactly. The latest rumors indicates that a new Star Wars Knight of the Old Republic project is underway at EA, and it looks to integrate elements from the first two games in order to bring certain things into the current Star Wars canon. As reported by Cinelinks, which I don't know who they are, two sources claim to have knowledge of on the rumored return of this beloved franchise. The first source says a remake of 2003's classic is in development, while the second expands and said it wasn't so much a remake, but a sequel of sorts. This new project, as previously mentioned, will take elements from the first KOTOR and Knights of the Old Republic to the Sith Lords, and retool the two stories to make them fit the current canon. These rumors fall in line with Lucasfilm's president Kathleen Kennedy's previous comments, confirming that Lucasfilm is developing something Knights of the Old Republic related. There have also been some rumors of a Knight of the Old Republic's film, with some sources linking Game of Thrones, D.B. Weiss and David Benioff, who are no longer creating a Star Wars trilogy. Anyway, it was reported last year after the cancellation of KOTOR 3 that Obsidian always envisioned the game to be a trilogy. Lead writer Chris Avalon from Reboot Develop also said KOTOR 3 would 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 have been would have been about uncovering the origin stories of the Sith Lords, and that they foreshadow what Darth Revan was doing in the second game. Darth Revan being, of course, a Darth, but the character that you play on KOTOR 2, and that you realize that you have been playing as all along, when you thought that you were gonna like face him at some point. Um, as for the current canon, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker did make Darth Revan canon, as one of the Emperor Palpatine's Sith Trooper Legion was named the Third Revan Legion.
Hmm.
So yeah, I can't tell enough good things about Knight of the Old Republic. They have been actually modders on the PC scene. They have uh, fixed supposedly the little quibbles, the little issues that KOTOR 2 had, which weren't that many, but it certainly have areas, portions of the game cut, cut off a little bit because of time constraint. They have went ahead and patched them in, so you can play a pretty complete Night of the Old Republic experience. Right now. Modded, but in a good way. Modded to fix and to enhance
So
more
no
than
Macho Man Dragons.
no Macho Man Dragons on this one,
Wow.
unfortunately. Yeah, I guess you're right. They didn't bring Macho Man Dragons, and we can always play Skyrim for those.
I
So
don't know. I hear mods, and the first thing I think of is Macho Man Dragons.
Oh my God.
that was the absolute worst. But hey, if you ever want to play The
Oh my
Witcher,
god!
Witcher 3 with the face of
Oh,
what's his
Henry
name?
Cavill, right?
Yeah, you
You
can
can do
now.
that. You can do that. Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, you can toss a coin also.
Toss a coin for your
Toss a coin.
Winter. Oh, value of plenty.
Yeah.
Nice.
By the way, that song is stuck in my head
By the
forever.
way, I bought that song 2 days
Wow.
ago. I own that song.
Listen,
Isn't it on Spotify? You could just get it on
I
Spotify.
buy my music like an
Oh,
old,
stop it.
all right?
Like
listen.
a normal.
I listened to a cover. I can't believe this went from Star Wars to The Witcher, but whatever. I listened to a cover, metal cover of it.
Oh yeah.
I can't
That,
remember the name of the guy, and I just can't get
there's a
the head.
valley of plenty of those.
Oh yes, I can't get the song out of my head.
Yes.
That's
It's
awesome.
so good.
Go
That
ahead.
is awesome. All right, my next piece and last piece.
And rest.
And rest in peace. Developer Housemarque, one of my favorites, guys. Makers of Stardust, Resogun, Alienation, Nex Machina, some of the best true arcade games. Surprised us pretty recently in 2018 when they announced that they're going to make a battle royale game called Storm Divers. I was like,
Oh my god.
But
Ooh.
interesting news. Housemarque is putting its in development battle royale game Storm Divers on hold as it focuses all its efforts on an unannounced project. In a post on the Housemarque website, CEO Ilari Cutinum calls the mystery game the developer's quote biggest and most ambitious title yet.
Hear that a battle royale? Oh my.
No, he put the battle royale on hold for whatever they're working on now. So Storm Divers is pretty much in the back burner for some reason. I guess it's who knows. Kunis said that this game is developed with a yet to be announced partner and has a team of about 80 people at Housemarque. Quote, now we are focused on delivering our most ambitious and biggest game to date, putting every other project on hold, including our development of Storm Divers. It is great that the whole company can come together to deliver this game, which will define the next evolution of Housemarque. So I am curious to see what it is, because frankly, I had zero interest in the Battle Royale game that they were trying to do, and I loved everything else prior to that Housemarque had done. So curious to see what this is. Not announced yet, but another game gets
Another
delayed.
dollar.
Yeah, another game gets delayed.
All right. I'm gonna pick this up, and well, this is my second last news. Rocket League is killing online multiplayer on Mac OS and Linux.
What? No. Wow, that's big.
Now, the first time I read this, I thought they were killing it in online multiplayer. Like, no, 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 no,
There
no,
were like
no.
a lot of people playing it. It's like, man, they're banking.
They're just
Oop.
killing it in online multiplayer. No, sir, they're actually killing the online multiplayer on Mac OS.
They're murdering it.
Again, I'm reading
Hilarious.
this off The Verge, and I will be changing a couple of words because this was posted yesterday, so it's starting with today. But this technically, yesterday, Epic Games' own Psyonix announced that it will stop supporting Rocket League on macOS and Linux starting in March. Psyonix says it will release a final patch on both platforms that month that will turn off online features, which means you won't be able to play online multiplayer anymore.
Wow.
Now,
Not even
these are
crossplay.
no. This is I'm gonna read the things that will still be supported. Will be local matches, split screen play, garage and slash inventory. So any items you have will not be removed. Career stat, replays, Steamwork workshop maps downloaded before the final patch, and custom training packs Download it before the final patch. What won't work is online matchmaking, private matches, tournaments, Rocket Pass, item shop slash esports shop, in-game events, friends list, clubs, news panel, new custom training pack, new Steam workshop maps, leaderboards, and league rankings.
Mm, damn.
Wow. I
Uh,
can't
to,
believe that they're not even supporting crossplay with PC, if anything. I mean, that should have been like super mega easy
I
to
know
set up and forget.
it's weird. Like why would they? Honestly, I don't see anywhere here why they're doing it. Honestly,
They didn't see they they probably didn't see the player base. But again, making I mean, I'm not I don't pretend to be, a network engineer, but I can't imagine. I mean, dropping support for Linux players, and considering that Steam OS, yes, it's kind of like the joke, but Steam OS is still running on Linux, and
well,
this
this is
guy's Valve is still supporting that, so I'm
so
kind of
this
surprised.
is not all bad news. Okay, before I get to the only good news, the only good part of this news, because you mentioned the crossplay, I'm going to read this as a quote. I'm just going to quote this from The Verge. Dropping support for two platforms is kind of ironic because Rocket League was a poster child for cross-platform online multiplayer games.
Indeed,
Right.
yeah.
So the only good part of this is that if you bought a copy from Steam, you can continue to play that same copy online with a Windows PC. So it's not all hope is not lost for all of you that that bought this for Mac OS or Linux. If you play it on a Windows PC, you will be able to play online with the same copy.
Oh, okay. So you get a copy that you can actually.
Yeah, it basically is just log into your Steam and just download it on whatever Windows PC you have, and
Gotcha,
boop, you're off to the races. Quick
gotcha.
soccer races, I guess.
Soccer racing. I see what you did there because cars and soccer. Yeah, good job.
Hey, puns, we have them.
Plenty.
Not good ones, but plenty. Yes.
Plus a point,
um.
please and thank you.
All right, guys. I'm disappointed. Yeah, I can't believe neither one of you brought this at the first and foremost. I was.
We left it to you.
Yes.
Oh, I appreciate that. I
There you go.
appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. You
Oh,
are very much welcome, sir.
all right, all right. So, you know what? I'm gonna hand it to you. So, go ahead, take it away.
No, 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 no. We just said we left it to you. Why would you just drop it back onto me? This
Because
is
neither of you
cheating,
will know what
sir.
it's
This is
about.
cheating.
All right. Enough setting
You
up.
don't know
So,
that. You don't know that.
of course, I am referring to Super Nintendo World coming to new Epic Universe theme park in Orlando. So that is happening. That is very
That's a
close to
thing.
us. That's a thing. Universal Studios is officially bringing Super Nintendo World to North America as part of an upcoming Epic Universe theme park in Orlando, Florida. As reported by WESH in Orlando, Universal parent company Comcast announced the Super Nintendo World news during its Q4 2019 investors meeting. The Epic Universe Park is set to open in 2023. The first Super Nintendo World location is set to open this summer at Universal Studios in Japan. Nintendo recently released a CGI music video to give fans an early look at the theme park. The park will feature a Super Mario Kart ride, which of course we'll be doing, uh, as well as a Yoshi Adventure ride.
If they
When
don't
it
have any blue
opens,
shells, I'll be severely disappointed.
man, if they don't have, I know. If they don't, I was thinking of imagine a Splatoon, like like,
A Splatoon?
oh yeah,
With squirting with the
so
ink and all
squirting
that?
with ink. Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
awesome.
that would be pretty
Yo,
awesome.
I mean, as long as they give me a shower afterwards, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So Yoshi Adventure Ride, like I said, when it opens to visitors, and will also be able to interact with the park using Nintendo's themed wristbands. The first photos we saw of Super Nintendo World feature clouds and platform matching designs from Super Mario 3D World. Besides Japan and Orlando, Super Nintendo World will eventually make its way to Universal Studios in Hollywood and Singapore. Super Nintendo World isn't the only way Nintendo is branching out from video games. Nintendo is also partnering with Illuminations to develop a Super Mario Brothers movie because the last one went fantastic.
Yeah, it was like
So
it was
why
With,
not remake it, right?
yeah.
without remaking, exactly. Hey, it works very well for Ghostbusters 2016. Come on.
Of course, and for Ocean's 8,
Yeah, exactly.
very well.
Yeah. Anyway, the new Super Mario Brothers movie is scheduled to hit theaters in
Just so
2022.
you know, Mario and Luigi will be women, and Peach will be a man.
Oh, yeah, okay. So no Pichette, no Bowsette?
No, no,
Bowser.
no, no, no about that.
He
No.
Oh,
said
okay.
he said Peachette. I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's the actual character, right? Pichette was the real character, right?
Was it?
Yeah, that was that.
I'm sure.
That was the whole
Oh,
thing.
Oh,
I didn't
really?
know.
Yeah, you got Toadette. That was the thing. It was a power
Oh,
up. Toadette
yeah. So that
grabs a
Oh,
power
okay.
up and she becomes,
Peachette.
Pichette.
That's hilarious.
That was the thing. You
I
guys didn't
believe
know
you. I believe.
that?
I don't know anything but about Bowser. That's the only thing I knew about because that became a thing. You know what I mean?
That's where Bowsette came up from, which it's actually the name should have actually be, if it's Bowser taking that, that thing, that power up, shouldn't he be Peachhauser?
I don't know.
what?
Anyway,
No
that
idea.
should be no Bowsette. Anyway,
You're killing me here.
just one more. Oh, I'm gonna kill you with this one.
Oh God.
Final Fantasy VII. How to
Oh.
stop Square Enix from canceling your pre-order?
Oh,
If
this
you
is good.
Yeah.
I need to
Well,
hear this.
if you pre-order Final Fantasy VII Remake or the Collector's Edition directly from Square Enix, you'll need to reconfirm your order, or else Square Enix will cancel it.
Oh, I already did that.
Because, yeah, because the thing with pre-orders is that you constantly want to be checking on
Yeah,
them,
you have to
right?
be right on top of it all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. In their defense, they actually do send you an email.
So,
What? But at
come,
least they send you an email and literally gives you a link to like
come,
just make
come,
sure that you're still there.
please come at the defense of Square Enix, please.
I mean, at least, right? If you don't
Square-
check your emails, what are you doing online?
Wow.
That's hilarious.
Square Enix announced the news in a statement on its official Facebook page. Because, of course, you want to be sure that you are subscribed to the Facebook page also. The company said that because Final Fantasy VII Remake's delay, it has instituted a new policy that requires customers who pre-order Final Fantasy VII Remake directly from Square Enix to confirm their orders. Due to the release change on April 10th to April 10th, we must opt in by February 28th for your order to not be canceled. Is this broken English? I think this is broken English.
You're terrible.
Square Enix, right? I wouldn't be surprised. To confirm your order, please check for an email from Square Enix on the topic,
Oh, there you
and
go.
and pray that it doesn't go to spam. Because
Just
you
make
know.
sure you check your spam. By the way, it did not go to my spam folder. Just letting you know.
Okay, good. I'm glad you have your spam rules set up properly. And then click on the link provided to the email. You got the email. You could talk to it. I just thought it was kind of silly that you have to confirm your pre-order. Otherwise, you didn't really pre-order, and that's kind of stupid. Anyway, that's all I.
I want that goddamn figure, statue, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Do you know I have two orders for not for the big one, but for the, I guess, the second, the collector's edition, but not the really expensive one.
Not the really expensive
Oh,
one.
I went all out on that shit. Like
Oh
I
no,
yeah.
no, I'm talking about the one with the steelbook, because like
Oh, of course you
I'm,
love steelbooks. I
Yeah,
know.
I love steelbooks,
If
and
you did, I would have been disappointed.
I ordered two, and I'm afraid of canceling one of them because what if I don't get the one? Although at the end of the day, I should be getting this shit digital because who cares about the steelbook? This shit's not gonna be able to be played on the PS5.
I
I,
bet you will.
I guess, of course you would. You better. They better make that shit work.
Honestly, yeah, you fucking better.
Yeah, for real. You better. Anyway, that's all I have, sir.
All right, guys. Well, stay tuned. We'll be right back with our hot topic.
Hot
Hot
topic.
topic. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in
Up in
here.
here,
Up in here.
Nice. We are back, guys, and it is finally time for our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic.
Hot topic again, guys. Most anticipated games of 2020. We've all have kind of compiled our own little lists. Obviously, it's not a long list, but just the top stuff that we're definitely looking for. I'm sure there's a lot of crossover because obviously there's some major titles that I think we are all pretty interested in. So we'll start from the top, Mr. Chaos Reaper.
He's in the top.
Top. What's one of the games, sir, that you are really looking forward to in the new year?
What other game this is my most anticipated game of the new decade, period. Fuck it. I don't care.
Mhm.
Final Fantasy VII. Oh my god, how fucking dare you?
I fucked up your moment. I'm sorry. I mean, it's coming out of early access this year, so I figured that you'd be interested.
Of course. I played the first ones excessively, right? Final
Wow.
All right, none other, which you got to figure it out already, which I've tried saying twice. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Of course.
Good Lord, I have been waiting. Me and legions of fans have been waiting, aching for this remake since the PlayStation 2 era.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
For a full a real 3D experience into the Final Fantasy VII world.
I mean,
what better time than the end of the cycle of the PlayStation 4 and possibly the beginning cycle of the PlayStation 5, or this generation and the next generation. Let's not exclude our Xbox brethren here and our PC brethren as well.
Thank you.
I didn't mean to, but it is the console that I play the most in. So I cannot wait enough for this remake to happen. I am okay with the delays as long as they give me the masterpiece, because it cannot be any less than a masterpiece.
Yeah,
that we deserve.
You're right. It needs to be the masterpiece that we deserve. I am also very excited, but I'm a little bit more cautiously excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake because of that, because of the level of expectation. I will never forget where I was when they showed that fucking trailer at the fucking PlayStation conference at E3. Dream Twister was sitting right next to me, and we were in the living room just watching the show go on, and the fucking trailer starts. And I'm already going, oh, don't do this to me, Square. Don't do this to me. I know this is not what's happening.
Please don't tell me it's a tech demo. Please don't tell me it's a tech demo.
Yeah, and I'm like, and at some point it just starts to happen, and I'm going, no. You ever have that like anxiety that gets in your chest real quick? You're like, like it happened, and of course he's saying no, they're not doing it. It's right next to me in denial, and I'm even going, I think it's happening, dude.
Well, you remember
2015, if I'm not mistaken, 2015 E3. We are in 2020, guys. The expectation for this game is a little bit too much through the roof. That's why I'm like,
galaxy.
Yeah.
You guys remember? You guys remember the year prior when Square Enix pretty much shit the bed with the announcement, with the presentation first of something Final Fantasy VII related, and people got super hype, but to like no end. There were people doing the reactions, and like they were
Yep.
doing reaction shots
Yep.
on
Further
YouTube,
back.
and then to come to realize that they were talking about a remake version for the
No, not a
PS3
remake.
or something.
A
Not a remake.
It was basically
a re-release of it
A
on
re-release. It looked exactly like you remember
Listen,
seeing it
go
on
further back.
PlayStation.
Go further back for the tech demo for the PlayStation 3, where they said explicitly this is just a tech demo, and everybody went fucking wild.
Yeah.
The theories and everybody went nuts, thinking like, no, they're gonna make a remake for the PlayStation 3. They're gonna make a remake for the PlayStation 3. Like, no, guys, it's just a tech demo. Like, calm your
Get
horses.
excited.
Yeah.
Chill the fuck out.
Well, yeah, exactly. Chill the hell out. almost verbatim is what they said.
Yeah. All right. It's just we're just showing off what the PlayStation 3 can do. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
So-
no, not anymore. This needs to be a masterpiece. Step by step, it has to recreate and give us more than what the original gave us. It's not just about the nostalgia, the nostalgic value of it. It has to go further than that.
I agree.
It has to.
I agree.
I'm going to. Oh man, how to begin? I have this on my list also, but it almost feels like mandatory, and it's not because of any hate that I have for Final Fantasy VII, because Final Fantasy it's a great Final Fantasy. I mean, it's not Final Fantasy IX, but whatever, they cannot.
Excuse yourself over that comment, please, and thank you.
They can't all be winners. It's no doubt that when an announcement came out, I mean, it was like the realization of everybody's dream, right? Everybody's excited about this one, and so was I. I got myself. I mean, I pre-ordered it twice just to make sure that when I got it, I was gonna get it, right? However, the more I looked into it, and remembering from my experience with Final Fantasy 15, which was another game that I was highly anticipating to playing it, because I like Final Fantasy. They haven't done me well, the last few installments, but I still have faith in the series. But remembering that gameplay in particular, and seeing the gameplay of this one, it kind of got me a little bit cautious of, this is great, but they can't do the same gameplay as it was on PlayStation 2, because that'll be too outdated by now. But I don't think PlayStation 1, you're right, sorry. PlayStation 1. And B, I don't know how they can modernize it in a way that it could be fun to play, because they have attempted already with several Final Fantasies, and they haven't been able to. Honestly, like the Final Fantasy 15 fight sequence, they look super cool, yes, but they are not fun to play. The previous one, like anything that is not menu driven, feels tacked on. And that's and yes, I do see this one looks very promising, but I'm cautiously optimistic. Also, I'm a little concerned with the fact that because they have to do that fan service, they have stuck a little bit too close to the original designs of the characters, which you wouldn't expect no less. But the designs of the characters were, I guess by that time, by the 90s, it was fine. But right now they kind of look silly, especially when you have the designs of characters like in Final Fantasy 15. Those were cool looking characters, right? This one, you look at Cloud, and of course he has to dress like Cloud, so he has to look like Cloud with his spiky hair and all that, and it looks like a cartoon made into CG, right? It looks kind of, I don't know. I'm not convinced that I personally liked
I
That's,
see your concerns, and I
but look,
understand them.
but there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more. Look at
Okay.
right now, Mad Dog. Uh, Look at this is a sign of Aerith, right?
Mhm.
And it's I'm not saying is bad, but when I think about the design of the latest ones of again in this case Final Fantasy 15, but even Final Fantasy 14 and 13 and all that, you look at this and it looks kind of silly almost. Like I'm a little worried that it's you want a masterpiece and we're gonna get a good game. We're gonna get a really good fucking game, but nothing that will meet that expectation of masterpiece that everybody is hoping for. And I'm okay with feeling that way because I'm ready to be surprised. And I'd rather not have the high expectation of it and be pleasantly surprised than have the super hype expectation of this has to be like the best game ever and know that it's not really. You know what I mean?
No, not necessarily the best game ever, but it has to be at least the best Final Fantasy to date.
And I don't think it will be. That's my concern. I think we already
Well,
had the best Final Fantasies, and I don't think a
have
Final
we
Fantasy
though?
16 will fit. Yes, Final Fantasy 7 original, for example, or Final Fantasy 6 or 9, or some might even say 12. These are crazy.
Hey,
But
hey, hey,
I
hey,
mean,
hey, hey. Take it
12 is
easy.
fucking
Take
good,
it easy.
bro.
it
I
was good, but
love
not the
12.
best of
Okay.
them.
No, I'm not
Not the
saying
best
that,
of
but
them. Yeah.
it's better than fucking
It's not better than
9.
9. It's
Yes,
not better
It's
it's
than
better
9.
than
definitely
Because
better
you
than
nine.
never
nine.
played 9. You never
There
played
Definitely
you
9.
better
go.
than
So
nine. In my
There you go.
opinion, at
you don't
least.
have a horse in this race,
I'm
sir.
just throwing it out there.
You never
Okay.
played 9.
Okay. To address your concern, of course, I haven't. Honestly, when I saw the trailer, one of the trailers they released, where actually Ifrit and Shiva show up,
Mm.
I did not see Ifrit and Shiva because I got so excited for it. I don't need to see anymore. I don't need to see anymore. I just need this game.
And it's
Okay.
gonna happen. It's
Now,
gonna happen. I don't
the
think it's
battle
delayed anymore.
the
For the record.
battle system, I believe they're going after the Kingdom Hearts kind of battle style,
Which
which
is
I'm
not
okay with.
sure. Mm,
The
I'm
there's two because you still have a
the
version
actions.
of the turn-based thing that they have available. So I guess it depends. Um, hopefully it works because you have that where you can just kind of run around and do stuff like that, but you also have the option go with the sort of turn-based, not the fact that they're going to stay over there, you're going to stand here and no one's going to move. It's still turn-based but it's almost like an arena, almost like Parasite Eve, where you kind of be in this little area.
Yeah.
I didn't play Parasite Eve, but what was it? Star Ocean till the end of time. The way that way it was fully turn based. Well, not no. It was kind of like a mix. You had this circle around you, which was depending on the stat of the character, that you could move around and that you could do whatever it is that you wanted to do, whether it was get closer to the enemy and do whatever, or get away and heal or magic or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that more or less what they're going for?
Well, yeah, like I said, it's two versions, and they're putting in the turn base for those who want to use it that way, but it's completely optional. So that's a good thing. So that still kind of keeps it in the regular, but I can understand the concerns that the character models haven't really stood out as poor to me. I just look okay. Well, they look like the characters that they were back then. So
They
I'm
look
I'm
outdated,
okay.
not poor. I wouldn't
The
say poor
Yeah,
because
yeah. So they,
they,
they look they look okay, but I mean, my main concern is everything else in between. It's the glue in between that's my main concern. It's going to be one of those things where as you play it. I mean, I don't know when the last time anybody's played Final Fantasy VII, but some things may feel a little bit odd. Now when you look, looking at the same game, and it's like even though it's remade and everything, it's like, ooh, maybe this was a little bit something that should have probably left out, but that's my concern. I don't know what parts. I'm just kind of throwing that. It's just one of those things like we've been so far away from the original at this point. I played the game to completion like twice, maybe three times.
Oh shit!
Um,
I went at it like 8 times.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. But all of them were a while ago. They were a
Yeah, that's
long
true.
time ago. You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
So I think we have a little bit of rose-colored glasses when we think of Final Fantasy VII, and I think that's also why the hype is so high that I'm just like it literally has like no possible. It's the chips are stacked against it to deliver the expectation that we all have for it.
I agree.
And so I think because of that, I agree that in the sense that maybe I'm more of a cautiously optimistic and excited, but still more leaning on the cautious side because of the possibility of it not meeting this grand expectation that we all have for it. So
Let me put it like this: this game will make or break my capacity to pre-order games.
yeah, that's true. I knew what you mean.
This is it. If they come through,
Listen
that's-
carefully, Square Enix. You better not fuck this up.
Because if they don't deliver, I can't. I can't trust anybody. I mean, honestly, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But it's the nostalgia is so, and the excitement.
If you can't trust Final Fantasy VII Remake, what can you trust, right?
Yeah. What can you trust?
Yeah.
Now, concerning the models, yeah, I agree with you, but you can't change the model to a point where you can't recognize.
Unrecognizable, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You have to keep some of that original look. And even if the spiky hair is ridiculous, that spiky hair it's Cloud.
It's iconic.
Without it, we'd be criticizing it for not having it.
Right.
Yeah. Wait, where the hell's his spiky hair? Why does he have a slick blonde hair now?
Right. Even when they toned it down for Kingdom Hearts 2 and the Final Fantasy VII movie,
mm-hmm.
It was still you see it and it's still Cloud. Oh, what's the other game? Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy Dirge of Cerberus, which I actually own physically, still wrapped in plastic.
Wow, that's a collector's item.
I mean, honestly,
sell
Vincent hell no. Vincent Valentine is my favorite character of that series. I cannot wait to actually let him just fucking let him go ham on his limit break and transform in, whether it's into the Galleon Beast
mm-hmm.
or what was the other one, the Frankenstein looking one, or Chaos, which was his devil looking form. Mm-hmm. I cannot wait for any of that, or to see Sid Highwind actually let the salvo of the Highwind, which was his last limit break, just destroy enemies, or see Cloud with his Omni Slash just slash everything to death. I cannot wait for any of this.
Yeah,
I can tell, sir. I can definitely tell.
Supernova. That's all I want to see. I want to see Supernova,
and the weapons. Holy shit! I can't wait to see. They have to include the weapons. Supernova. I don't care if it's episodic. I don't care how many episodes I have to buy. I just hope they make this fair and worth it.
Right. However, it's not the only game coming out next year.
Yes. Nope, really not. We do have more games to go through.
So, this was yours. Dream Twister. What would be one of your games of 2020?
Oh, I'm gonna ruin it for you guys because I'm gonna say it. Of course, Cyberpunk 2077.
There it is, Cyberpunk 2077.
Hell yeah!
Of all the games coming this year, Cyberpunk 2077. After having my experience with the Witcher 3 that last year, I have no doubt that this is the game I'm looking forward. I mean, I'm a sucker for anything futuristic, especially anything cyberpunkish. Is my total jam. I mean, I will definitely the pre-order and get up. I won't pre-order like crazy, editions anymore because I don't want to. I can't fit anything else, anymore. So, but I'll be at the moment. I don't know if you guys discussed this last week, and I bet you guys did. With the delay of Cyberpunk, it's heartbreaking to hear.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's like you say, chaos. It's like delay. If you're gonna make it better, take your time with it because I want this game to be fucking amazing, and I'll be playing this game on PC day one, blind faith. Not waiting on reviews or anything that.
Yeah, absolutely. This is already like you said, this is a pre-order. This is one of those few games where you're like, you know what, I trust this.
Yeah.
And even if there's something off when it comes out, I trust the developer to fix it quickly
They
because
they
they
deserve
will, because they're gonna freaking support the hell of it. This is also on my list as well, and obviously I've
Oh
been
yeah.
championing The Witcher 3 for God knows how fucking long, and I'm so glad someone decided to join in 2019, 3 years after the game came out. But I'm glad you finally, and of course when they announced this one and they showed it off. I am a little bit bummed about the delay, and I had to cancel some PTO because I was like, well, obviously it's not coming out, so
Obviously, it's not
now I'm going to put it into September so I can take off at least a week, just so I can really dive into that game.
Shit, that's a good idea.
Oh, I'm doing it. Oh, it's on. It's
Remind me
happening.
to do that.
Yeah,
Remind me to do that.
it's happening, sir.
Oh shit.
So definitely on my list as well. Chaos, you have anything to say about Cyberpunk?
That
Other
of
than
course.
that
I mean, Keanu.
Keanu for president.
No,
There it
honestly,
is.
that is my second most anticipated game of this year.
Nice.
I mean,
Nice.
how could it not be? Seriously.
I agree.
How come it's not your first? It's
Final Fantasy VII. That's why.
I know.
To be honest with you, Cyberpunk is my number one most anticipated.
I will doubt it. I will
it's-
doubt it for
yeah.
a second.
That's now the second one that I can pull out that I can definitely say this was definitely right there next to it, and it's more for its potential. I trust the developer. I trust the publisher, obviously, because it's Sony and all that, and it's a first party studio. Ghost of Tsushima.
There it is.
Ooh.
This game here, guys. First off, I have forgotten how much I love Japanese lore, Japanese sword fighting and video games and all this. I just absolutely love Sekiro. Kind of brought it back, and Sekiro is a much more technical game. Obviously, I don't think this is going to be anywhere near as technically as challenging as that's going to be, but I can trust that it's going to have a great story, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Like almost watching a film like a Akira Kurosawa film on, as you're playing it, because this game is absolutely, from what we've seen, just amazing graphics, graphic wise. And so Ghost of Tsushima is definitely one of my most anticipated for 2020. Chaos, you want to take next?
Yeah, honestly, Ghost of Tsushima is also one of my most anticipated games of this year. So I guess I can strike that off my list right here. No, I'm just kidding. Then there's really not much to say about it except that I'm hyped about it.
We've seen enough already to where we're like, okay, you guys don't need to be showing
You
us
have
like
my
extensive
interest.
trailers and gameplay. All right, like we know it.
Yeah, you have my interest in a solid way. All right.
Yeah, you
Just
already sold
give
us on
me
it,
the
yeah.
goddamn game. All right, so we mentioned Final Fantasy X Remake, Cyberpunk 2027, and Ghost of Tsushima. So my next one is
ahead.
Doom Eternal.
I was just gonna call
Of course. Why would it be like probably what could possibly be the most violent video game of 2020?
I know. I was like, this has chaos written all over it. This is
Hell yeah.
Oh my
Now,
god.
The only thing I saw the trailer that you shared recently with the group, which I think is like the second trailer, I believe.
Well, one of them because I had a few of them, but yeah.
Right. The only complaint that I have is like, did he really have to have a face?
They show a face.
The Doom Marine.
Well,
Yeah.
the original Doom
True.
guy had a face.
Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So why not give him a face? I guess.
Yeah.
But watching that gameplay with the sword, like, okay, at first I was like, wow, there's no chainsaw, but then I saw like what he was doing with that damn sword. I was like, I'm all for this.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I watched that trailer, the new weapons, I guess you could say the new mechanics, even though I'm not excited at all about the hub area. Still, probably will be able to overlook it as long as the gameplay is solid enough, and it still doesn't dampen my excitement for this game. I played Doom 2016, I believe.
Yeah, 2016.
And I loved it.
I mean, it's called Doom, but we call it Doom 2016.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it did took me a while to get into to like fully get into it. But once I was into it, I could not drop it.
Dude, that game is called Chaos the game. It's like that game was made, live and breathe for you to play it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Between the pace, the music, and obviously the violence in it. I don't care
Yeah.
if anybody want to take this to
The
court.
non-story, the non-story story is amazing.
Right.
So good.
The
Yeah.
story that literally takes a back burner. It's just a background thing.
And yet it's still so good though.
Yeah,
It's
it
still
delivers exactly.
so good.
Yeah.
When
Agree.
he starts he start giving you orders as your next mission, and fucking Doom guy just
Punch
grabs
the
the screen
fucking
and
screen, man.
throws it to the side like fuck this. I'm just gonna do what I
I
do.
am here to wreck shit and
Yeah.
chew bubblegum. And I'm
Yes.
out of fucking bubblegum.
No, he's there to rip and tear until it's done.
Nothing standing but me. And I love the line, the only thing they fear is you.
Yeah.
God, that just sounds God, that sounds so metal.
I'm gonna. That's not so metal. That is metal.
That is just the game just
Um,
uses metal.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you right now that I am a huge Doom 2016 fan, or a Doom fan in general, but especially Doom 2016 was a game that I absolutely love, because of that incredible fast pace, like non-stop shoot and rip and tear and crazy like glory, destruction, dude. I'm all for it. And this one from the trailers, that when back at E3 they showed it, dude. That was a pre-order, day one, fucking one. That was a pre-order.
Honestly, watching that second trailer, I completely forgot about the hub area.
Until I canceled my pre-order.
Why?
The reason why I canceled hear me out. The reason I canceled my Amazon pre-order was because I'm gonna play this on PC, and I am not going to install the fucking Bethesda thing, on the computer just to play Doom. If I were to play that, the Doom Eternal, I will play it on Steam, or Epic or whatever. And this is not the Steam versus Epic thing. I'm not trying to bring that up. What I'm saying is that I'm not gonna install another game store for just one game, because the biggest reason why I decided not to pre-order this is Bethesda. And it should come out at no surprise. Bethesda has fucked up badly. 276 has never fucking fucked up. And Wolfenstein with the young blood or whatever the hell.
Right.
Has completely
about that.
made me lost interest. If that shit is canon, then like I don't care anymore for Wolfenstein, for what they're trying to do. And all that dude, if we have a boycott against EA, the boycott should really be forging off forward. It should be with Bethesda, because if there is a company that have fucked up their fans, almost as equal as Blizzard has and as EA, is fucking Bethesda. Releasing a crappy ass Fallout 76 title incomplete, making fun of it, and then having the brass balls to charge to pretend to have people pay $100 for a version which should not even cost $5, and that is without saying the countless bugs and issues that up to this day plague that game. That game, and to do the shit show that they did with Wolfenstein, the whatever sisters is, I just don't have faith in Bethesda to do right to Doom Eternal. And it looks amazing, don't get me wrong. I saw the trailer too, but you know what? So did Fallout fucking 76, so did Wolfenstein, And then the games came out, and and then we were like, oh shit, wait a minute, oh shit, oh they fucked up badly on this case. I, to me, Doom, it's on a warning list. It's almost like I need to see reviews for this one. This game is not day one for me because I don't trust Bethesda to do a good job with it.
For me, I am torn because I've already boycotted Bethesda for the record. So but I look at this game and I have to tell myself and go, this is it. It's coming from Bethesda, sure, publishing, but this is it. So unless for some strange reason Bethesda gets their grimy hands on it and fucks it up somehow, that's really the only way. I obviously will probably hold off because I probably still won't get it, even though I would love to have it. It's just that there's just this thing in me where I can't do it. You know, the same way I can't do Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which I understand everybody enjoys, but no, sorry, I'm not doing an EA game. So it's the same thing. So for me, I'm a little bit bummed because I've put, unfortunately, they're part of that, and I have to. If I'm going to take this stand, I need to take the stand. But I am torn because I feel I feel personally that it's gonna come out. The game itself should come out fine, overall. But at the same time, I might still be left with, oh well, I still said I'm not gonna have it. So that's just me. But I understand your excitement, and that's why I posted that video, because I looked at it and was like, oh man, this looks good. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So, Dreamy?
I mean, if it wasn't for your trailer, this probably wouldn't even be on my list.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Well, true story.
Wow.
That trailer got me hyped as fuck.
Wow.
Awesome.
This one is, I mean, I am looking forward to it, although not as super hype as other people are, but it's definitely a game that I do want to play. And that game is Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the story I absolutely fucking love the story of Last of Us originally. The gameplay, I found that it was good, but there was some things that were kind of annoying. But it wasn't bad. It was totally on me. I'm not a fan of stealth, and I also found the one that the one hit clicker death, not one hit, but you know what I mean. Like they grab you and it's game over. I found that kind of annoying, actually very annoying. I understand that there's a gameplay element. There's some way to actually pretty much avoid them or get rid of when those things happen, but. Between that and the scarcity of the weapons and all that, like I felt like I was trudging through the game more than actually enjoying it. But at the same time, that is the type of game that they made. Yeah. That was the purpose, and I'm ready to go through that again. I at the end of it, I enjoyed it. So definitely Last of Us Part 2, my third.
I agree. I actually have this lower than Ghost of Tsushima, mostly because Ghost of Tsushima is new, and it's unknown, and the excitement behind that is why I'm more excited for that one. Last of Us is coming from Naughty Dog. It's these guys are proven to be great. It's like I already know this is going to be probably an amazing game,
right?
And that doesn't take away from it at all as being one of my most anticipated. But because of that, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm interested. And I do want it, and I am going to play it. That will obviously be probably another day one. Mm-hmm. Very, very looking forward to that game as well. Sorry, Chaos, did you want to say anything about is Last of Us 2 on your list?
Actually, it's not. But again, this is like I'm gonna quote Dream here. It's my fault. I didn't finish the first one.
I like to say that.
I don't even think if I got halfway through it, although I did play some of it. I really need to go back and finish the goddamn game.
Oh
because
God.
I really did like it. Although I hated the. It's not that I hated the clickers. I
Yeah,
like the
I
mechanics of it. I like the tension that they
yeah
bring, the suspense, but they scared the fuck out of me.
I
yeah.
know.
They
I
were
know.
annoying.
That was their intent.
That
That
was
was their intent.
the noise they made was amazing. I
Oh my
love
God.
the noise
Yes.
of the clicker. It was,
Unforgettable. They
yeah,
literally created a noise. You know, what I mean?
yeah,
They
yeah.
literally invented a sound that brings chills. I mean, to this point, yeah. Um, my next game that I have that I'm one of my anticipated is Resident Evil 3 Remake. The Resident Evil 2 was probably one of the biggest surprise of 2019. I was really interested into the game. I got it when it first came out and played the hell out of it. Played through the entire thing. Claire and then Leon's thing. It was just so fucking good. Graphically, my God, that RE engine is beautiful.
Yeah.
And then to see that they're doing 3, and I'm like, oh yes, yes. And am I afraid of Nemesis? Hell fucking yes, I'm afraid of Nemesis. I can't even imagine what he's going to look like in this. Just picturing Mr. X. When I remember Mr. X in
On
the original,
steroids.
yeah, Mr. X on steroids. Mr. X
With a rocket launcher.
in
With a
Resident Evil 2,
fucking rocket launcher.
Mr. X in Resident Evil 2 was already Mr. X on steroids when you compare it to the original Resident Evil 2.
True.
This is going to be something like, forget it. It's going to be crazy, and I cannot wait because I really dig what they're doing here with the Resident Evil, and I don't even care that they're remakes of already established. I don't care. This is keep doing it. I'm fine. We want Code Veronica next, and then yes, we want you to go to Resident Evil 4. Let's just do a remake of them all.
You
Yeah.
imagine a
Oh
remake
wow!
of Resident
Wait,
Evil 4?
hold on. I'm not sure if I'm down with that.
I am down with that.
Okay, just
Resident
right.
Evil 4 is
Why not?
perfect
Let
as it is. It
let
doesn't
me-
need a remake.
Let me bring you an example. All right, just imagine Resident Evil 4 remake on the PlayStation 5. I can't remember the name of this enemy, but it was they were obviously humanoid and they grew spikes out of their body. They kind of like
This
they-
is in 5?
in four.
Oh, in 4.
They had this sound like they breathed like that. It was creepy as shit.
Yeah. I can definitely
I
can
would definitely go
see,
for
yeah.
that. I
Because
would definitely go for that.
if you haven't played Resident Evil 4 in a while, going
You
back to
definitely
it, it's
should.
going to feel very animated.
Yeah.
When you look at Resident Evil 2 remake, that shit don't look animated. That shit looks like real. You know what I mean? Can you imagine Resident Evil 4 looking like that? I don't know. I think we can, I think Resident Evil 4 is far enough now, especially if you think about by the time they get to it, right? We'll probably be towards the end of PlayStation 5 life cycle, or at least towards the middle, because you still got Code Veronica next. If they even go that route. So you have some time, and Resident Evil 2 came out with PlayStation. It came out GameCube, PlayStation 2 era. That's a while ago. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, you're right.
it's still okay. So yeah.
The same
But then
thing
that-
with
then
Resident
they-
Evil 4 was PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then they're gonna continue and they're gonna remake 5, and I don't think 5
Oh,
is the
no,
game
no,
that
I
needs
don't
to
think
be
fi-
part
yeah, I
of
don't
it.
think- I don't
and then
think 5 is-
6,
yeah.
yeah,
Honestly,
yuck.
yeah.
Like, yeah, no.
If they were to, they wouldn't remake 5. They would.
I mean, 5 looked
Not
graphic.
not remaster. They'll probably I guess it's probably the same. I don't think they will go past 4 because 5, 6 were not
Those-
particularly well received.
Those
They're not
might
well
as well not
received,
be canon. Yeah,
Yeah.
those might as well not be
Correct,
canon.
exactly. At that point, it started really getting a little bit wacky when it
It
came
was
to it.
very action oriented, and even though I did enjoy 5 to a degree, it was nowhere near close as 4.
Mm.
Now, to my next game is Dying Light 2.
Oh wow, okay, I didn't know you were into that one.
Oh,
I got-
sir, I got news for you. I played the shit out of Dying Light. All right, I even played the multiplayer where you play as a monster because you don't play as a zombie. You play as their version of what could be considered the liquor.
Sir, I got news for you, actually.
Was that?
Um, breaking news.
Not really
Why you
breaking,
taking-
but yeah.
why you
Breaking
taking-
news. Dying Light 2 has been delayed indefinitely.
Oh,
This
that hurts.
the studio needs more time, but how much isn't clear. This is courtesy of Engadget, and he goes, "Yet another Square Enix publisher game is facing a delay, and this might not be a short wait. Techland has delayed its subtitled Dying Light 2 indefinitely to allow more development time to fulfill our vision." That's the quote. And didn't say what led to the company's missing its spring 2020 target. And you'll have to wait a while to know when the game will be ready. The studio is only promising to share more information in the coming months.
How did you have this shit queued up already to destroy my game?
I was waiting for
You're
the moment
Dream
to.
Twister, not the Dream Destroyer.
First off, I didn't know that was on anybody's list, so I just assumed you guys already knew. So
I did not know. I did not know that.
I
I am the one that lives under a rock. I do not keep up with all the news except on Friday, where I start looking desperately for news.
You know what? Let's give him a redo. Let's give him another one. Let's give him another one.
yeah. Get
Let's give him
another.
another one.
No,
All right.
Okay, first off, that hurts, God, because I really did like. I really did enjoy Dying Light, like the open world, the fact that you could literally drop kick zombies in the face.
Oh, Dying Light is I recognize it's a really good game. I did play it. I had so many other games that and this one looked like it was very meaty, so I ended up like returning my Steam purchase, but always with the thought that I'm gonna get this game again at some point because they just not only they released the game and they released a good game, but they kept adding more shit and more shit, and it was free. You know the stuff that they added,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
to the point where right now this game is amazing. And hearing that the Dying Light 2 is delayed, although sad news indeed. But for those who haven't played Dying Light, like me,
Including
it's an
yourself,
opportunity
yeah.
to dig in. It's a definitely opportunity to dig in and take its time and enjoy because, oh yeah, it is a
Okay,
good one.
listen, please, if you have a chance, please dive into Dying Light 1.
Yeah.
Even if it's to just play the story. Like, don't even go off on the on all the side quests and side objectives. Just play the story.
I like what I played. Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
my God, it is so good.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite zombie games ever, honestly, because it was just so good. There was Excalibur, the sword, was in that game, stuck in a goddamn rock, well, through a body, but of course, it's Dying Light. You, that actually hurts, David. That actually hurts me.
I mean,
that's-
it's better you find out here, than
I guess better late than never.
this is a
honestly.
safe circle, right? This is a safe.
It's a safe environment here. Yes.
All right, if you're giving me a redo, this brings me to my last most anticipated game of 2020 will be Nioh 2. I don't know. I'm kind of like into my third beer already. I'm not even sure I'm saying that right.
Nile 2. Well, let me look that up because
Neo. There you go.
Neo. Oh, Neo 2.
Yeah.
Nile.
Wow.
Sparrow.
I was thinking of
please
Nile.
don't jump
Oh
down
my
throat.
God. Let me tell you, the moment Sparrow Wolf hears this shit,
He's gonna
a
lose his shit.
message
Oh
from
my God.
from the other side of the United States.
Just over
That's
there.
gonna come hot to your phone, dude.
All right. First off, I just want to clarify that I am a lightweight and I've been drinking already. Neo 2, which brings me to I just read the post that you posted about was it you or was it actually
Was it
Sparrow? Huh?
I think it was David.
Oh, it was Dream. Dream posted the trailer for the post for the second trailer, which I haven't watched. But even though I haven't finished the first Neo, I did really enjoy the mechanics of it. The amount of weapons is how different they are from one another. Like I used the oh my god, what was it? The one that had the chain and the ball. I don't remember the name. It's been a while. I'm
Oh,
Oh,
sorry,
just call it a
I
ball
Sparrow.
and
remember
chain.
name.
Just
Yeah.
call it a ball and chain.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Ball
Jesus,
chain. Yeah. Chomper.
I didn't fuck that up. Um, I really did enjoy that, even though I was told repeatedly not to use it. I felt like it was the same thing as when I played. Um, oh,
The
what
Hunter,
was what?
Monster Hunter.
No,
When
no,
he
no,
said,
no.
"Don't use this sword," and you're just using the great sword anyway.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess there are very much parallels to that. No, what was it? Oh, gee. Bloodborne. Bloodborne with the cane.
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
started the game with that cane. I finished the game with that cane.
Oh
Wow.
wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Props, dude.
Yeah, I
Wow.
love the fact that that cane went into a fucking whip and just I loved it. So I feel the same way about it when I played Neo One. So I want that feeling again. That is such a great game. And yes, Sparrow said that the trailer was disappointing. I haven't watched it yet.
I don't understand why though.
Again, I haven't watched it, so I couldn't even tell you why. I haven't even finished the first Neo, so I couldn't tell you why.
Maybe he found out it was a dating simulator.
But he did mention that even the DLCs were disappointing. So
Oh.
yeah, I don't know if you read the comments
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I read it.
yeah, yeah. He says that the DLCs were disappointing, but I still can't wait to see what else they bring to. If the DLCs were disappointing, let's assume, which is kind of bold of me, that they know this.
Hmm.
What
There's
else
no
will they
fix it.
bring new to
Yeah.
the table with
I
this
agree.
new with this new
Chapter.
yeah with this new chapter on the Neo franchise, which I hope it becomes a franchise.
Yeah.
For me, I have the first Neo, and I actually have it installed. I actually plan after maybe beating Owlboy and this and the other one that I plan on taking on Neo because I haven't tried it at all. So this will be my first time. So I'm actually kind of excited for it. So because of that, my excitement for Neo is there, but I haven't actually played. So I don't know if I don't know if I don't have it on my most anticipated because I don't have any
I think you
history
like
with
it.
it.
I
Yeah.
think you
So
definitely like it.
we'll see. We'll see. Dreamy, do you have anything else on
Oh,
your list there?
by the way, just to add real quick, that is it for me. That is the list that I have.
That
Yeah,
is the
that's it.
list.
No more beers.
Oh no, no more games either.
No more beer and games. No more life. Um, I think I'm good with my list. Obviously, there are more games that are that are coming out that have piqued my interest, but not to the level where I will hype. I'll be super hype about them. Uh, I need to know what the fuck is going on with Yakuza Like a Dragon because that game looks unlike any other Yakuza game.
Because Yakuza.
Because Yakuza, exactly. Yakuza. I need to see what the hell is going on with this. Uh, it looks interesting. Turn-based. I don't have enough version against turn-based, fighting. To be honest with you, I just didn't expect it to be on a Yakuza game. And again, I need to see. Also, they're going to be they're going to be dubbing actually this in English. Like the Yakuza games are typically Japanese with English subtitles, but this one they're doing voiceover in English. So I don't know. I don't know if that's speaking to the not interest, but the confidence that Sega might have with this title.
Maybe.
So yeah, interesting. I need to see what's going on, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. I it's another one that I need to see what it's about because every time I look at gameplay footage of it, I swear that it's like no that can't be that those cannot be just graphics. That has to be like real, somebody taking a pic, taking film on a flight. This is insane. That looks amazing, and the things that are promising are kind of unreal. be able to fly anywhere in the world and have a one-on-one look because they're going to be using map data from Bing Maps if that's anything. But if it plays like it looks, then I'm not a huge flying fan, but I can see myself, enjoying this one. You know, at least to see, to pretend to be taken off from like Narita Airport or from Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport in Puerto Rico or whatever. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Awesome. And and also Persona 5 Royale.
Oh, for the love.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
That's it. That's my list. That's all.
I only have two more that I wanted to include. This is probably on none of your lists because I'm just that kind of person.
Because it's Mad Dog talking right now.
This is gonna be high art.
This is gonna no. This is not high art. Come on now. A little Devolver Digital title called Carry On.
There you go.
Yeah, Devolver Digital, because I love those guys.
Yeah.
A Metroidvania game where it's actually a horror game, and you actually play the monster in this horror game. So,
nice.
You go basically room to room. You eat a bunch of scientists, and you grow kind of like a blob type of thing. So I saw the trailer when they first showed it. I did the Devolver Digital E3 thing, and fell in love with it. I've saved the trailer on my YouTube. And I was like, yep, I gotta keep an eye out for that one. And of course, it comes out this year. Now, there's no plans for PlayStation 4 yet. I'm hoping that changes, but right now it's Xbox and PC. Well, we'll see. And then the last one is a little game called Empire of Sin, which is an XCOM style turn-based strategy game that takes place in Prohibition era Chicago.
Oh.
All right, where you basically play the role of the gangsters, and you kind of, so it looks like it's all in. If you played XCOM, this is a basically 3D strategy game. But
What's it called again?
It's called Empire of Sin. And so it's an overhead view game in which the players try to take over speakeasies, distilleries, and brothels by outsmarting enemies in combat, making use of appropriate units and cover, and stuff like that. Very similar, again, to the XCOM playstyle, so if you know about that. I immediately got attracted to it, one, because of the gameplay, and two, because of the era. I'm a huge person who loves the 20s, even though I know the 20s were very difficult, but the rolling 20s were always... if there was a time period I can travel back to, guys, it would be that.
Be happy because we're back in the 20s.
We are back in the 20s. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And that's it. And the last thing I wanted to ask, because nobody seems to bring it up, and I'll ask it. Don't attack me. I'm just asking because I'm not interested in it. But nobody mentioned Halo Infinite, so I was wondering.
I wonder why.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it all. I was curious about that. I was like, I wonder who's gonna mention it. And not a one, guys.
Hey, listen, but if you are interested in Halo Infinite or whatever other games coming out in 2020, please do comment below on whatever post we had about the hot topic. We would really much appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of another awesome episode, the real 196 of GG's Mouthful Podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. Once again, please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there, and please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off for this week, Mr. Chaos Reaper.
So, we are 6 episodes away.
4 episodes away.
Right. Close enough.
Math is hard.
Listen, math is hard when you're drunk.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So let me start this again.
Kids,
so we are 4 episodes away from episode 200, and I cannot wait. And I can only hope I'm actually there to do a live cast with you fine gentlemen in here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Skype.
That is what I'm talking about.
I can't wait to do this with you guys.
a room spread out for you just in case you need to stay over. And you'll be more than welcome, sir.
Awesome. Good to know.
Mr. Dream Twister, take us home, sir.
Let this be a PSA about the dangers of drinking and podcasting. Always remember, winners do drink and podcast, but don't do it at home.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. GG!